Destination Unknown by Sydney Connors. They peered curiously around the corner of the stone, small fingers gripping the hard brick of the manor. Beyond the edge lay grassy fields and hills as far as the eye could see. One would usually see horses grazing the land, but there were none, only a single being with hooves of a horse. The air was warm and dry, but there was a heavy feeling. The children stuck to the side of the house as they tread lightly and cautiously across the stone patio, eyes never leaving the mythical creature. Never had they seen such a thing in their life, and it was refreshingly fearful to have something so new and inexplicable. This thing was veiled in a thick coat of fur, and towered over the small children just 7 and 10 years of age. The boy's leather boots padded softly across the stone patio as his sister's dress dragged across the stone, creating a noise quite common in that era, for most women and girls wore dresses of that length. The children were careful to make little noise out of fear to disturb the tranquil of the creature. It was large, taller than a horse, more robust, too. It easily covered at least 15 square feet of the ground. All of these things, however, were merely petty indifferences to the children. The root of their vexation lay within the appendages sticking out of its head. They were a creamy color similar to the pudding they have during dinner each night. There was a ceramic smooth look to them as though they had been crafted out of clay. They rested tentatively as though they were a twitch away from falling to the grass. The curvature of these horns, and the pointed edge of the 2 clay-like spikes, caused the beating of 2 small hearts to quicken their paces. Their parents had warned them, of course, as parents do, but curiosity had gotten the best of the young ones, and who could blame them? As though sensing the presence, the animal turned its head cautiously, and its beady eyes met the widened pupils of the children. The animal stood, its weight seeming, weightless, and stalked silently over to the young ones, who had long been paralyzed with fear. The hoofs made no noise against the stone patio as the animal silently glided closer to the children. It stopped and held a long stare with the children, and then it leaned down into a bow. The children's stiffened muscles relaxed, and in a moment of pure ecstatic relief, they jumped towards the bull and clambered onto its back. As they had suspected, the horns were smooth and hard, but they did not fall off when they gripped them tightly to stay on the bull's back as it raised up into a standing position. And then they could hear the wind whipping in their hair and feel it rushing to push against their bodies. They were running somewhere, anywhere. The glee was evident on their faces as their eyes lit up like Christmas trees, and smiles broke across their faces. And then something changed, because the children felt heavier and they were immobilized, but they could feel the cold working its way up their legs. And then they couldn't feel their legs. This feeling kept working its way up until finally every strand of hair was immobilized and every inch of skin was smooth stone. Could be described too in detail as the way the horns felt on the mythical creature, the same creature that had caused the sudden transformation upon itself, Daniel, and Francis. As the children let out one last heave of cold air from their lungs, they forever rode the myth, Destination Unknown.